The swamp is still. Frogs croak. In the shallows, a wild pig lowers its head to drink. Ripples spread, but not from wind. Just beneath the surface, a shape shifts. A coil, thick as a log, glides forward, silent as oil. Then the strike. 60 teeth snap shut, rows angled backward, anchoring prey that kicks and squeals. In seconds, loops of muscle wrap tight, bones crack, breath stops. This is the python, an ambush predator built for patience, pressure, and precision. Hunting strategies. Pythons hunt through ambush. Unlike predators that chase down meals, they let prey come to them. A python will coil near a waterhole, game trail, or rodent burrow, blending into mud, leaves, or roots. Their strike is explosive. They can launch nearly half their body length in an instant, clamping jaws onto fur, feather, or scale. Once locked in, the snake's true weapon is its body, coiling into a living vice that tightens with every exhale of its victim. Their heads are equipped with heat-sensing pits, allowing them to detect the faint warmth of a mammal or bird, even in total darkness. Unlike many reptiles that rely on sight alone, pythons hunt effectively at night, using infrared detection to pinpoint prey. Their jaws are not fused like ours. Elastic ligaments let them expand outward, accommodating animals several times the width of their head. Combined with recurved teeth that hold fast, escape is nearly impossible once the bite lands. Though solitary, pythons show a form of strategic patience. Some individuals return to successful hunting grounds seasonally, lying in wait at migration paths of deer or antelope. Others use water as cover, submerging with only nostrils above the surface, ready to ambush. Mothers even use a kind of hunting education, allowing hatchlings to remain nearby in their first weeks, watching as she captures small prey. Each python refines its techniques over years, creating a personalized hunting map that mixes instinct with experience. Physical strengths. On land, a python's movement is deceptive. They don't sprint like mammals, but their muscles allow sudden bursts of speed, especially in short lunges. Their climbing ability is equally impressive. Despite massive size, they ascend trees in search of birds and bats, wrapping their coils around branches for support. In water, they become surprisingly agile, gliding smoothly with side-to-side undulations, able to swim for hours without tiring, and even crossing rivers in search of richer hunting grounds. Constriction is pure force. Studies show that a large python can exert pressure exceeding 14 pounds per square inch, more than enough to stop circulation and shut down organs. This crushing power doesn't suffocate prey slowly. It cuts off blood flow to the brain in seconds, causing rapid unconsciousness. Combined with sheer body mass, sometimes over 200 pounds, pythons are unmatched in raw, muscular dominance among reptiles. Pythons are not built for sprints, but for stamina. They can hold prey in constriction for minutes until all struggle stops, then begin swallowing, a process that itself can take hours. After feeding, their endurance shows in digestion. A single large meal may sustain a python for weeks or even months, their metabolism slowing dramatically, while enzymes and acids break down bone, muscle, and organs. They endure not by constant hunting, but by maximizing every kill with unmatched efficiency. Social structure. Unlike lions or wolves, pythons live solitary lives. Each snake patrols its own hunting ground, avoiding others except during breeding season. This solitude reduces competition, ensuring each individual has access to prey and shelter. While hatchlings may remain together briefly after emerging from eggs, dispersal comes quickly. By their first shed, young pythons are already on their own, small versions of the ambush hunters they'll become. There is no strict hierarchy among pythons. Dominance is expressed only in moments of conflict, usually when two males encounter the same female during breeding. In those cases, a form of combat dance begins. The snakes rear up, pressing bodies against each other, trying to force the rival down. These contests rarely end in injury, but decide which male earns the chance to mate. Outside of such encounters, hierarchy is irrelevant. Solitude defines their lives. Pythons lack vocal cords, but communication exists in other ways. Chemical signals in shed skin and waist mark presence and reproductive condition. Males track females through pheromone trails, sometimes following for days until contact is made. Body language also plays a role. A defensive python may coil tightly, hiss loudly by forcing air through its glottis, or strike without committing a bite. Warning displays designed to deter threats without wasting energy on conflict. Habitat and range. Pythons roam some of the most diverse environments on Earth, from the African rock python across the savannas and river basins to the reticulated python of Southeast Asia, the world's longest snake. These giants span multiple continents. They thrive in tropical forests, grasslands, wetlands, and even agricultural zones. Some species, like the Burmese python, have become invasive, establishing breeding populations in places like Florida's Everglades, where they disrupt native ecosystems. Most pythons prefer warm, humid climates with plenty of cover. They haunt forest edges, marshes, and riverbanks where prey traffic is high. Tree hollows, caves, and abandoned burrows serve as shelters during rest. Water is a key feature. Pythons are semi-aquatic, often hunting in wetlands where ambush is easiest. This adaptability allows them to exploit environments where other predators might struggle, taking advantage of both ground and water opportunities. Unlike big cats or wolves, pythons don't patrol or defend vast territories. Instead, they occupy overlapping ranges, moving with prey availability and seasonal shifts. A single snake may remain near a waterhole for weeks if food is abundant, then vanish into new ground once resources thin. This flexibility makes them resilient, though it also puts them into conflict with humans when they settle near farms, where livestock becomes easy prey. Coils crush, jaws stretch, but here's the real shock. A python can swallow prey weighing more than its own body. In rare cases, individuals have consumed animals as heavy as full-grown antelope, pushing the limits of biology. Stretchable skin, flexible ribs, and elastic ligaments make the impossible possible. It's a feat so extreme that X-rays show their internal organs shift aside, heart, lungs, even stomach, to make room. No other predator reshapes itself this radically to finish a meal. Diet and feeding habits. Pythons are obligate carnivores. Unlike crocodiles that sometimes scavenge or carnivores that take insects in lean times, pythons stick strictly to meat. Their menu varies with size. Hatchlings start with rodents, lizards, and birds, while adults move on to monkeys, pigs, deer, and even crocodiles. Their diet reflects opportunity. Anything they can overpower and swallow becomes fair game. Feeding is infrequent but intense. A large python may eat only a handful of times per year, each meal immense compared to its body. In the wild, deer and antelope are prime targets, but in human-influenced areas they often take livestock such as goats or chickens. Hatchlings must feed more often, building energy for growth, but still rely on opportunism rather than pursuit. Hunger drives patience. A python may lie still for weeks, waiting for the perfect strike. The swallowing process is as extraordinary as the capture. Pythons walk their jaws forward, using alternating rows of teeth, slowly pulling prey inward. Special windpipes allow them to breathe even while their mouth is blocked by food, extending out like a snorkel. Once swallowed, digestion begins with acid strong enough to dissolve bone and hooves. Incredibly, after such meals, the snake's digestive system actually grows temporarily. Enzymes spike, stomach lining thickens, then recedes once the meal is complete. Reproduction and life cycle. Courtship begins with scent. Males track pheromone trails left by receptive females, sometimes leading to multiple suitors. When rivals meet, they engage in ritual combat, pressing, pushing, and trying to pin each other to the ground. The winner courts the female with gentle nudges and body alignment, stimulating her with spurs near the cloaca. Copulation may last hours, ensuring fertilization before the pair separate. Female pythons are unique among reptiles. They guard their eggs. After laying clutches that can number from 20 to over 100, the mother coils tightly around them. She shivers her body to generate warmth, maintaining a steady incubation temperature, even when outside air drops. For nearly 2 months, she won't eat, devoting all energy to protecting and heating her brood. When hatchlings emerge, they are fully independent, equipped with teeth, strength, and instinct to hunt. Beyond guarding eggs, maternal care is brief. Once the young break free, the mother's role ends. Yet, the sacrifice of weeks without food ensures higher survival rates. Hatchlings scatter, avoiding each other to minimize competition. Though vulnerable to predators such as birds of prey, monitor lizards, or even other snakes, those that survive their first year can live decades. With steady growth, they transform from fragile hatchlings into apex predators, climbing the food chain coil by coil. Evolutionary history. Pythons belong to one of the oldest snake lineages, tracing back more than 40 million years. Unlike vipers or cobras that evolved venom as their main weapon, pythons followed a different path: pure constriction. Their closest relatives are boas, sharing the same muscular hunting style, but with one major difference: pythons lay eggs, while boas give live birth. This ancient split shows two evolutionary experiments with survival, and both succeeded across continents. The fossil record reveals giants that make even today's pythons look small. In Asia, remains of Python europaeus suggest massive snakes coiled through prehistoric forests. In South America, a cousin known as Titano boa reached lengths of 42 feet and weighed over 2,500 pounds, a true monster of the Paleocene. These fossils show the lineage's dominance after the dinosaurs fell, when reptiles filled empty predator roles in reshaped ecosystems. Across millennia, pythons adapted to thrive in varied environments: Africa's savannas, Asia's rainforests, Australia's deserts. Their strategy stayed consistent: ambush, crush, swallow. Minor adaptations, like heat-sensing pits or water-based hunting, refined success without changing the core design. Where many predators specialized and vanished, pythons' broad adaptability kept them widespread. This evolutionary balance of patience, power, and versatility explains why they remain apex predators today, virtually unchanged from their ancient ancestors. Role in the ecosystem. Pythons regulate prey populations that might otherwise explode unchecked. In Africa, rock pythons control numbers of antelope, warthogs, and rodents. In Asia, reticulated pythons help balance populations of pigs and monkeys. Even in Australia, scrub pythons keep invasive species like feral cats and rats in check. Every meal alters the dynamics of its ecosystem, preventing overgrazing or crop destruction that smaller carnivores cannot manage alone. By targeting a wide range of prey, pythons indirectly protect plant communities. For instance, when deer populations are controlled, saplings survive, leading to healthier forests. In wetlands, fewer rodents mean less crop damage for local farmers. In regions where pythons are invasive, like Florida, the effect is reversed. Biodiversity suffers as native mammals vanish under relentless predation. This duality shows how powerful an apex predator can be, either stabilizing ecosystems or unraveling them when out of place. Pythons also act as food sources for scavengers. A half-eaten kill abandoned by a python may feed monitor lizards, jackals, or vultures. Even their eggs and hatchlings provide meals for countless predators, from birds to mongooses, recycling energy back into the food web. By serving both as hunter and prey, pythons anchor their ecosystems, embodying the balance that defines nature's design. Threats and conservation status. Though powerful pythons are not invincible, as hatchlings, they face danger from hawks, storks, crocodiles, and other snakes. Even as adults, large cats like leopards and jaguars may ambush them. Packs of wild dogs can also overwhelm medium-sized pythons, but their biggest threats don't come from nature, they come from people. Across their range, humans hunt pythons for skin, meat, and the pet trade. Skins are sold for luxury goods, while meat appears in local markets. Habitat destruction also forces pythons into closer contact with people, where they may prey on livestock and spark retaliation killings. Invasive populations like the Burmese python in Florida face the opposite problem: active eradication campaigns to protect native wildlife, with thousands removed from the Everglades every year. Conservation status varies by species. Some, like the Indian python, are listed as vulnerable, while others remain stable across wide ranges. Protection comes through habitat preservation, anti-poaching laws, and public education. In parts of Africa and Asia, ecotourism has reframed pythons as assets rather than pests, creating incentives for communities to protect them. Still, balancing conservation with human conflict remains one of the biggest challenges for these snakes. Myths and cultural significance. Across cultures, pythons embody both fear and reverence. In West Africa, the python is sacred in Vodun tradition, often linked to creation myths where a great serpent supports the earth. In parts of Southeast Asia, pythons appear in folklore as guardians of rivers and forests, testing human bravery. Some tribes believe encountering a python in the wild is a sign of protection, while others see it as a warning to tread carefully. Pythons are woven into ritual and symbolism. Their shedding of skin represents rebirth and renewal, inspiring cultural ceremonies and spiritual practices. In Aboriginal traditions in Australia, the rainbow serpent, often depicted with python-like features, remains one of the most important mythological beings, tied to water, fertility, and creation. For centuries, humans have seen in these snakes a force larger than life, bridging earth and spirit. Modern media often exaggerates their danger, turning pythons into horror villains capable of swallowing humans whole. While rare, such incidents have fueled countless movies and sensational headlines. Documentaries, on the other hand, highlight their patience, power, and ecological role. From nature films showing silent ambushes to news stories about invasive Burmese pythons, these snakes hold a strong place in human imagination, feared, admired, and always remembered. Unique and interesting facts. Some python species, like the reticulated python, are the longest snakes on Earth, growing over 32 feet. Despite their size, they can climb trees with ease, balancing weight across multiple branches. Pythons also display one of the rarest reptile behaviors, maternal incubation, where females shiver to warm eggs, a strategy more like a bird than a snake. The heaviest recorded python weighed over 550 pounds. They also rank among the strongest constrictors ever measured, with crushing forces rivaling industrial equipment. Some individuals have been documented holding their breath underwater for nearly 30 minutes while waiting in ambush, blending seamlessly with roots and reeds until prey ventures close. Scientists recently discovered that python digestion triggers a dramatic body transformation. After a huge meal, organs like the heart, liver, and pancreas can nearly double in size to handle the load, then shrink back once digestion ends. This reversible growth is unique in the animal kingdom, showing extreme adaptability. Another rare observation revealed pythons occasionally sharing large kills, two snakes feeding side by side without aggression, an exception to their usual solitary nature. The python is not speed or stealth, it is inevitability. Coiled in silence, it waits. When the strike comes, there is no roar, no chase, only the sudden grip of muscle that ends resistance in seconds. It is a predator as old as forests themselves, thriving through patience and power. But the story doesn't end here. Next time, we leave the coils behind and return to the open plains, where strategy meets strength in the shadow of history's kings. Coming up, the Asiatic lion, brotherhood, rivalry, and survival on the edge of extinction.